You've only gone and downloaded a multiplesources.net podcast. For more episodes of this show and a bunch of other content covering everything from NBA teams to professional wrestling, visit multiplesources.net. Multiplesources.net. But wait, act now and you too could join multiplesources.net. Yeah, we're looking for people to do their own podcasts about different NBA teams. We're looking for blog authors, video highlight creators, basically anything you can think of to write about sports. You can kind of write or create to your heart's content. So if you want to help us and join this up-and-coming independent blog and podcast network monster, go to multiplesources.net. I'll stick something in the sidebar that says join us or something equally unfunny. So go and click on that. Join us.
Hello, welcome to It's Always Sunny in Phoenix. This is a weekly podcast where three Suns fans discuss the team, as well as general NBA and sports thoughts. We have a little bit of a special episode here, talking a lot of all-star stuff. I'm Mitch, your host, and joining me as always are Charlie and David. How's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
How's it going?
It's good on my end. I gotta say at the top of the show here, last time we recorded was before the Super Bowl, and I now know the result. My Denver Broncos are Super Bowl 50 champions. Really excited about that. But this is a basketball podcast, so we don't need to say any more about that.
That's old news anyways.
Exactly, yeah.
It was literally ages ago.
Yeah, 8 whole days ago. You can find us on iTunes. Search It's Always Sunny in Phoenix on the podcast app, and we're the only one with that name. Feel free to subscribe and leave a review if you like us. So we're going to jump right into it with a couple recaps. We had 2 games before the All-Star break. The first was against the Thunder on Monday, February 8th. I covered that. It was a 122-106 loss. It went pretty much how we all expected, with the best players doing really well. Kevin Durant had 32 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. And then Russell Westbrook had 29 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals. But the note that I think is more important to notice in this game is that Kyle Singler may have the worst hair in the league. It was pretty bad.
It's a glorified bowl cut.
Exactly.
I don't even know if it's glorified.
It was... Whatever it is, it was really bad. On the Suns' end, we had Markieff Morris, who continues to play pretty well. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block. And then PJ Tucker is playing really well, especially on defense. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 steals. So that was a nice contribution. Archie, 20 points, 7 rebounds. But the difference in this game was horrible three-point shooting and Devin Booker having a rough game. Only 6 points, going 1 for 8 from the field. Mirza Teletovic had 17 and the team's lone three-pointer along with an assist. But what I gathered from this are that the Thunder are a really good team, and they have a chance to really do some damage in the West. It's tough because there's a lot of really good teams at the top with Golden State and the Spurs, but the Thunder are right in it. So, one-sentence recaps here. Who wants to start on that?
I'll take it. You cannot win a game shooting 9% from downtown.
That's definitely true. It was a huge hindrance for us. Okay, David?
Even when he only makes 1 3, Mirza still shoots a better three-point percentage than the whole rest of the team.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to talking about all-star stuff, so let's move on here. We had the Golden State game, the last game before the break, Wednesday, February 10th, and Charlie, you covered that, so what do you think?
I was very thankful this was the last game before the All-Star break because we needed it. Archie came out of the gates not looking like his head was in the game, and it got him in trouble early. He didn't go for the tip-off after Chandler tipped it, and it went out of bounds to the Warriors. And PJ Tucker kind of got up in his face right after that, let him know to get his head in the game. And then shortly after that, the Warriors missed a field goal. Archie looks like he should have went to go grab that defensive rebound, but didn't. And Curry grabbed it, put in the easy 2. And then the Warriors hit back-to-back three-pointers, and Archie was looking lost in his defensive rotation. So that's when Earl Watson called a timeout, and things started to get a little ugly. Markieff Morris got right in Archie's face, trying to motivate him, you would assume, but who knows what to think out of our new leader, Markieff. Archie took offense to something, shoved Keefe's hands away, and then Markieff, pretty forcibly, it was not weak, he shoved Archie back into the bench, and luckily it got broken up right away. I'm glad that didn't go any further than it did. But back to the basketball game. We played pretty decent in some stretches and kept it pretty competitive until the third quarter. Curry and Thompson, Splash Bros, were doing their thing. Curry went for 26, 9 boards, 9 assists, almost pulled a triple-double. Probably would have if he would have played in the fourth. And Thompson had 24 and 5 steals. For us, Goodwin finally got going after being held scoreless in the first half. He put up 20 in the second half. And then Devin Booker had a double-double with 15 points, 10 assists. And he threw 3 or 4 really nice alley-oops to Chandler. And it looks like they're starting to build some nice chemistry. But after the Warriors ran away with the game of the third, the Suns put up some pretty good numbers in the fourth against the Warriors bench to make the game look a lot closer than it really was. Final score 112-104.
Yeah, it's just hard to stop the Warriors. No one can do it. I'm just happy that it was as close as it was. David, do you want to do your one-sentence recap here?
All right, so turns out that Markieff is a really bad leader.
Oh, geez. That's
well said.
That's fitting. Okay, mine is the Warriors are really good, but Booker's 10 assists stood out to me.
Yeah, speaking real quick of that, youngest player besides, it was LeBron and I don't remember who, I think it was mainly LeBron that was the only person that's been younger than him to have a double-double with assists.
And to be fair to LeBron, I think he's done it 6 or 7 times, or had done it 6 or 7 times before Booker did, I guess.
Yeah, it was like 4. It was 4 or 5 when I was looking at the stats. I was just going to leave that out, but it's right.
Still, I'm fine with the comparison.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah. So let's go over the results of our challenge. And I forgot to do the ones for the Thunder earlier, so I'll do those right now and the Warriors ones, all in one fell swoop. So for the Thunder game, our 2-pointer was which Suns will have the most points. I said Devin Booker, Charlie said Markieff, and David said Archie. And Markieff had the high for the Suns with 23, so 2 points for him. And then the first bonus was which team will win the tip. David and I said the Thunder, and Charlie said the Suns, but it was the Thunder. So David and I get +1 on that.
Darn straight.
Second bonus, how many free throws will the Suns attempt? And we were doing Price is Right rules. We changed our mind because we want people to be able to get more points. I said 35, Charlie said 28, and David said 17, and the answer was 39. So even with Price is Right rules, I would have got that one, but I got it either way. And then bonus 3. Bonus 3 was how many shots will Dion Waiters attempt? I said 7, Charlie said 10, and David said 11, and David hit it right on the head with 11. So +1 for him.
There's 3 things in life you can always bet on. The Patriots being evil, Peyton Manning having a noodle arm, and Dion Waiters chucking up a bunch of shots.
Well, that noodle arm won another Super Bowl. Kind of. The defense,
Kind of.
but whatever. The final score at the end of that game was I have 5, Charlie with 2, and David with 3. And then for the Warriors game, the 2-pointer is always which son will have the most points. Charlie and I said Booker, and David said Archie, and the answer was Archie with 20.
Darn
All in the
straight.
second half.
Darn.
So +2 there.
I was not feeling good about that after I heard about the altercation, and I was watching replays of the altercation, but somehow he pulled through, man. He just needed that great leadership is what he needed.
Yeah. The choking. That's always what they tell you to do as a leader, to choke your
You
team.
didn't get that in Leadership 101? Come on, Mitch.
Okay, let's see. Bonus 1. How many threes will Steph Curry miss? I said 3, and Charlie and David both said 5. The answer was 5, so they both got a point there.
Wow.
Yeah, this one was pretty impressive. Bonus 2. Who will have the most steals? I said Steph Curry, and Charlie and David both said Draymond Green, and the answer was Klay Thompson with 5, so no one got anything there.
We were on too much of a roll.
Yeah. Little heat check right there. And then the third bonus, how many assists will Devin Booker have, sorry. I said 7, Charlie said 5, and David said 3, and optimism wins again. He had 10, so I got the point there. And we have a tight race at the end of the Golden State game. I have 6, Charlie has 3, and David also has 6. So it's pretty close. Things are heating up.
I
I
somewhat
like being
know what
the
I'm doing.
underdog.
Okay, so let's move on to our previews here. We'll talk about these previews and then move on to All-Star stuff. So the first preview will be the game versus the Rockets on Friday the 19th. And David, you're covering that, so what are your thoughts?
So, our games against the Rockets haven't been going as well as we would hope this year. Our games against anyone really haven't been going as well as we've hoped this year. But it's going to be something that's interesting to watch. That'll be right after the trade deadline. A little spoiler for what might we talk about, mainly about this game. But, so, who knows? Both teams could make moves to either help or hinder the short or long term. We don't know. That being said, it's going to be James Harden on the other end, and even though he didn't kill us last time, if Trevor Ariza and Corey Brewer are on that team on the bench and shoot as well as they did, we're going to have a tough time winning.
Definitely. Yeah, the last game against them, it was close, but it still wasn't great. So, Charlie, do you want to pick a key to this game?
My key to the game is to get back on defense. The last time we played, Brewer and Ariza both had really nice games, but they scored a lot of their points by beating our guys down the floor to get easy buckets. And that game was pretty close, so if we would have hustled back on transition defense and prevented some of those, that might have been a winnable game.
Okay. And then I'm going to pick a player to watch, and this could get interesting. My player to watch might not even be in this game at all. I'm going to say Dwight Howard, because there's been a lot of reports that the Rockets are interested in moving him before the deadline on the 18th. This game is the day after the trade deadline. But Dwight Howard had 16 points and 15 rebounds in their last game, which was against the Warriors as well. And those are pretty good numbers. So I'm interested to see how we match up with him, if he's even on the team. I think I'm just more excited for the trade kind of stuff, but still. So for our challenge, which Sun will have the most points? I am going to say Devin Booker until I get it right.
I'm going Booker too.
Okay.
I am going to go Devin Booker as well.
Nice. Okay, and then bonus one, how many turnovers will James Harden have? I'm going to say, let's go 1. I think he's going to come back from the the All-Star break and play pretty well. He'll be rested, so I don't expect him to make a ton of mistakes.
I'm going to go with 3. I think he'll be handling the ball a lot. He'll get a couple, but he's pretty trustworthy with the ball most of the time.
Okay.
I am going higher than you guys. I was going to try and pull up his average real quick because I feel like he's averaged a handful this season. But I'm going to go higher than you guys. I'm going to say 6.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say 6. He is the primary ball handler. He is averaging this season per game. He is averaging... I mean, he's not really averaging a whole lot, but he's playing against... He was going to be guarded mainly by PJ Tucker as long as he's still there, and I'm betting on PJ still being there. So I'm going to go just a little bit over. Quite a bit over, but just bet on that with those things factored in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, bonus 2. These are the fun ones. Will Dwight Howard be a Rocket on this day? Even though he was my player to watch, I'm going to say no. I think that the Rockets are pretty desperate, and they started out the season in win now mode, and I think they want to be back there, and this has just been a disaster of a season for them, and I think they're going to move him and shake things up a little bit.
I'm going to go the other way. I think he'll still be there. I think finding a suitor for him might be pretty tough with a contract like his. I know some teams will be interested in a starting center, but Dwight brings a little more than just his game, which isn't necessarily a good thing.
That's true.
So there are a couple of things that I think you have to look at here when it comes to Dwight possibly being traded. One being, who does he make a better right now? Who does he make better right now? What team would he get traded onto that would turn them into an instant contender? And then the other thing is that he can opt out of his contract at the end of this season. Are you gonna? How much is someone gonna mortgage on one season that they think that they can beat Golden State? Is it what I think? Who thinks that Dwight Howard helps them beat Golden State? With those those things in mind, I don't think he gets traded. I just don't think anyone's going to mortgage 1 year on that, and I think a lot of people are going to be looking towards the future. I think it's the moves that are made now aren't about winning this year as much.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, bonus 3. Will Markieff Morris be a Sun on this day? I'm also going to go no, and that is purely wishful thinking.
I'm going to say, please, no.
So my wishful thinking is definitely that he will not be a Sun. I would like him, especially after the whole outburst against Golden State, for him to be gone. I think he plays way too inefficient when he does play. I think there's a whole lot, but there is still this nagging thing in the back of my head that says that he's not going to be traded. But I'm going to go with my hopeful that McD understands that he's just killing our locker room, and I'm going to say that he's not a Sun.
Okay. Yeah.
Side
also-
thought here.
Oh,
Go ahead.
All I was going to say is I think any thought of a trade involving Archie is definitely out the window because I don't think either of those guys should probably be on a team together anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, really.
So, what do you guys think would be the minimum we would take for a Markeith trade? I could see us taking I would not be surprised if we took a second-round pick for Markeith.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think just any pick we will take at this point.
I could see us trying to package him. We do have Cleveland's pick. We do have other second round picks. I could see us trying to package him with something like that and just to try and just boost it up to at least a salary dump player. I could see. Or just a guy that maybe had a couple of chances to another guy that maybe might not be good enough to be in the league, but just give him a chance to kind of play. I could see something like that. I could see I mean, if it was mine, I would be like, okay, what do you want to give us? Do you want to give us that? Do you want to give us a top 55 protected second round pick? Okay. Whatever. But
yeah. What about PJ being involved? Because we know that the Raptors have expressed interest in both PJ and Markeith. Do you think that we will be willing to package PJ in a deal with Markeith too, or no?
I think that'd really up the value of what we're pitching off here, just because of PJ's defense, and if it's a playoff team like the Raptors, they're definitely going to want some more defense when it comes playoff time.
Mm-hmm.
Raptors going to need it. The Raptors don't know if DeMar Carroll will be able to be healthy enough. They could see that as PJ being kind of just a plug-in of a light version of DeMar Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
I think the easy one that's been going around for that one is if it's Markeith and PJ. If you just do James Jones, Patrick Patterson, I think we talked about this before.
Yeah,
something like that. I think that's the easy one is to think. I know a lot of Raptors fans are very high on Patrick Patterson and don't want him traded, so that could be just like another fan thing. That being said, their last fan guy they didn't even try to re-sign in Amir Johnson. You don't know, but it all depends. I could see us if we did trade PJ and we traded him to someone like Toronto, I could see them easily not even involving Markeith in that trade, just whatsoever, just to try not to add but not disrupt their chemistry way too much and add a hothead to the locker room. Or maybe they see this as their last chance and just throw everything and see what sticks. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We've got 3 more days here, and a lot could happen in that time. So let's move on to previewing the Spurs game on Sunday the 21st. I'm covering that, and I'm not really looking forward to it because our last game against the Spurs I also covered, and it was horrible. Or maybe it wasn't the last one, but one of the last 2 was just really, really bad. It is in Phoenix, so that gives us a little bit of an edge. Maybe some more fans will come out to watch that game since it's a rivalry. The Spurs are really good. They're one of the top 3 teams in the West. They have so much experience, and they still have young talent, especially Kawhi Leonard. He's an all-star. Really, really good player, really good on defense. His offense has improved so much, and his 3-point shooting especially. There's not really a ton to say here. We just have to hope that we can play hard enough to keep it close. How about a key to the game, David?
So my key to the game is going to be... my key to the game is going to be foul shooting. I think if we can limit our own fouls and try and keep this as clean of a game as possible,
That's our best chance to make it competitive and make it close. If we're not fouling them a lot, if we're not trying to, even if we're not trying to draw fouls too much, I think that can help with a cleaner game and give us a better shot at being close.
Okay. And Charlie, you're a player to watch?
It was between Leonard and Aldridge, but I went with Aldridge. He's going to be tough for us to handle, and he's been playing, well, he was playing really solid ball before the All-Star break. Markieff isn't known as a solid defender. Neither is Mirza coming off the bench. So actually, I think our best option to defend him would be to bring old Johnny Badger, John Lure, to cover him. But since Watson took over, his minutes have pretty much vanished. So I think we kind of match up pretty decently everywhere else on the court. But it really doesn't matter because they are the Spurs, and they'll just do what it takes to win.
Right. Yeah, none of us like the Spurs, but we've talked about them before and just say, we respect them as a team so much because they're so solid. And Aldridge, even though it still is so unfortunate that we weren't able to land him during the offseason, he's still a player that I really like. If you take away the team he plays for, I really liked him in Portland. I love his jump shot. He conserves so much energy with his shot, yet it's still really nice, and he makes it at a decent percentage. So really like Aldridge, really wish we could have landed him. But that's way in the past. No need to dwell on it.
I'm still salty about it too.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's do our challenge here. Which Sun will have the most points, the 2-pointer? Like I said, I'm choosing Booker until I get it right.
I'm going to switch it up and go Mirza.
Okay.
I'm going to go Archie. I think that out of our starting lineup, I think Archie has the best matchup. And that's what I'm going to try and stick with when picking my best guy.
Hey, I'm going to cut in here quick. Have you guys heard anything about Price or Knight coming back? Since the talk was after the All-Star break, do you think it'll be right away?
Ooh. I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Right.
I know the talk was that after the All-Star break, but I mean, technically, the last game of the season is after the All-Star break. I have no idea. I haven't necessarily heard that. I mean, to be honest, I haven't heard anything about the Suns except for Devin Booker, so...
Yep.
Good Our point. Tank is running pretty efficiently right now without a true point guard, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like a German Panzer.
Getting 100 miles to the gallon.
I would say it's a well-oiled machine, but even the tank's not a well-oiled machine. It's a rusty old tank.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question. Here's our next bonus. How many steals will Kawhi Leonard have? I'm going to say 5. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. So I'm going 5.
Those giant hands will get 4 steals.
Okay.
Did you see his hands next to Shaq's?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty similar in size.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be sick and tired of hearing about... Oh, wait, yeah, I actually did think I was going to be tired about that. He's averaging 1.8 on the season. We turn the ball over a lot. I'll say 4.
4. Okay. Okay, so our second bonus question is who will have the most offensive rebounds? I'm going to say Alex Len. He has been playing pretty well lately, and I would really like to see him crush the offensive boards.
I put down Len too.
Nice. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so I would love to. I'm gonna go hopeful and hope that Watson actually plays Alex Len good minutes, and he gets more offensive rebounds. And because I said that, he's going to not, and it'll end up being someone else. So there's that.
Don't say that.
I'm just trying to jinx everyone now. So
Yeah. Okay, bonus 3. Will the Suns acquire a draft pick in any trades? I'm gonna say yes, because I think that we will be so willing to get rid of Markieff that we would take a second-round draft pick or first or whatever, like we said earlier. So
if
I
we
think
could get
will
a first, something is wrong.
Yeah, I see us getting a let's be hopeful and say a late first rounder, but more than likely a second rounder. I see it happening though.
Okay.
I could see us getting a second rounder from some sort of trade. Well, whatever it be. So I'll say yeah, as well.
Okay. A lot of agreement.
I'm just trying to make this game make sure it's a win by that Archie pick. So if Archie, then I can just run the table on the rest of this. If all of our others are the same, so
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this week, instead of Player of the Week, we're just going to talk about All-Star stuff, because there was a lot of really good stuff in the All-Star weekend this year. What did you guys like the most? What event?
That was the best dunk contest I think I have ever watched. In full, too. I could not step away. I had to watch it all. Gordon was so impressive. Mm-hmm. I think he maybe even outdid Levine a little bit. But Levine is so fun to watch, too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the dunk contest was fantastic. Of course, I want to give a little bit of love to the skills competition this year, because who would have thought adding big man to a competition for guards would be interesting? That was a lot of fun. When Karl Anthony Towns won and he got rushed by all the other guys that were playing, and that was awesome. And I loved that he beat a guy that he's a foot taller than. So
Yeah.
So that was kind of fantastic. But the Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine dunk off was what I was really looking forward to heading into the night. I thought that the 3-point contest was a better field last year, and so I was picking the dunk contest to be my favorite, and Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine did not disappoint whatsoever.
Yeah, I really liked the dunk contest too. I think Aaron Gordon got robbed. Zach LaVine was great, of course, but Gordon was so creative with the rotating mascot on a hoverboard dunk. That was awesome. And then the seated dunk, that's what I've seen people calling it, the seated dunk. I've never seen anything like that before. So it was awesome. Really enjoyed that.
The rotating mascot just struck a chord with me, and I loved it. You don't see the alley-oops or a guy holding the ball, but you never see anyone moving with the ball. And then the way he could grab the ball off that mascot too, and then clutch it 360. Great.
It was awesome.
It's not like he grabbed it with both hands either.
Right.
I mean, just all of his dunks were just really creative. I mean, and as much as in the moment I was very much, oh my goodness, Aaron Gordon got robbed, I still think he had the best dunk of the night. Watching Zach LaVine's dunks in slow motion are ridiculous. He looks like he's just floating whenever every single one. Yeah. His legs don't move. Not like the only thing that's moving is his arms to like move the ball, and it's his dunks were somehow his dunks were made for slow motion, because they're just so smooth. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think he had the overall the best. Like together, all of his dunks were the best of the night. Like he had the best dunks throughout, not like time after time. But I think Aaron Gordon had the single best dunk of the night.
Okay, yeah. Zach LaVine's dunks are out of this world, and when he jumps into the air, it looks like he's flying to return to his home planet.
I have a nice side note here. It's nice how talked about it was. It seems like kind of all the professional sports all-star weekends kind of just get swept under the rug. But when I went into the grocery store the morning after the dunk contest, the kid bagging the groceries was talking about the dunk contest to the cashier lady. Like,
nice.
You just don't hear people talk about the NBA as much as you do like the NFL. So I had to hop in the conversation, and I don't know, that was pretty cool.
I mean, the dunk contest has been recently. It's been one of those things that hasn't been looked forward to. A lot of people have said that the 3-point contest needs to be the last one now, just because when guys like Steph and Clay are in it, that it's just a better event. And there's it used to be a thing that the best players in the league would say, I want to go win a dunk contest. You had Jordan, you had Dominique, we had Kobe in the dunk contest, we had, the first dunk contest, we had Dr. J, we had Larry Nance. All those guys, just ridiculous dunkers, ridiculous athletes, ridiculous players. Vince Carter, Dwight Howard. All those guys, a lot of those guys are all-star names. And recently we haven't had that as much. We had Paul George in that really bad team dunk competition a couple of years ago. And it hasn't been something that's been exciting. It hasn't been something that's made people react as crazy as this dunk contest between those two guys did. So it was really nice to hear everyone freaking out about it and see on Twitter and all those other things that people were freaking out about the dunk contest again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, fun fact here. I could probably say this about a lot of guys, but since I travel with the Gonzaga band to the NCAA tournament, I see these guys in college play quite a bit. And Aaron Gordon played for Arizona. I saw him play. This was 2 seasons ago, I think, my sophomore year, and it's my senior year now. And Aaron Gordon was coming towards where I was sitting. I was right behind a hoop, and he had this insane alley-oop, and I have to admit, I cheered for the opposing team at that point. He can get up, and it was awesome to see in person. I would have loved to see that dunk contest in person.
If you love basketball, you will find yourself clapping for things like that every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
The 3-point contest, I still thought it was good. I was really happy that Devin Booker was in the top 3, and to compete against Steph and Clay in the final round is really impressive for a 19-year-old rookie. And beating JJ Redick in the tiebreaker round was really awesome to see. When he hit that 10th, the 3 to give him 10 points to move on, that was really exciting. I was happy about that too.
That was a lot of fun to watch. Did he put up 20 in that opening round?
Yeah, there was that 3-way tie for 20, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Harden, Redick, and Booker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the shootout showed some clutch. Got those guys. And then, what more can you ask for? The finals with the Splash Brothers and Devin Booker. That was a fun thing to watch, and for Suns fans this year, we have to look for the things like that to keep sane. So that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Between that and the Rising Star Challenge, he's gotten some much needed exposure. Not a whole lot of people are watching Suns games this year, and especially like on the national scene, and him getting credit where credit's due, because he's been great as a rookie this year, and he has been the big thing that we've been looking forward to, even when we were like 4 or 5 games under 500 only, and Bledsoe wasn't hurt, was that, oh my goodness, when can we get Booker more minutes? Because he's something.
Yeah. That Rising Stars challenge was really great for him since he wasn't picked, but he replaced Nerlens Noel with the injury, and he came in and just hit a bunch of threes and was just like, I deserve to be here, basically. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think he had, in the first half, 18 points in 8 minutes or 9 minutes, just shooting lights out. And something I noticed was he got into a little back and forth competition with the rookie on the Magic, that Mario Hezonja.
Hezonja, yeah. Uh-huh.
They were going back and forth a little bit. Hezonja blocked a Booker layup, and then on the ensuing out-of-bounds play, Booker hit a three right in his face. And then it kind of started going back and forth. And Booker, you can just tell how competitive he is. Hezonja was on a fast break, easy dunk coming up, and Booker just hauls down the court, gets in front of him enough for him to pass it off. And, in an exhibition Rising Stars game like that, you don't see much defense, but you could just tell Booker wanted to outdo him.
Mm-hmm. I think Hezonja is a good player too. I thought that was a great pick in the draft. I think he's going to be really good, but yeah, the back and forth between the two was a lot of fun. Yeah. How about the actual All-Star game? I mean, I thought that was the most boring of all the events. The only thing was I was really hoping that someone would put up 200 this year, but I guess I'll have to wait one more year for that.
We're getting close.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if Kobe could have actually cashed in on a few of the... He shot the ball quite a bit, only managed 10 points, but... What did they put up? 196?
Yeah. Yep, 196. Yeah, and speaking of Kobe, I'm not the biggest Kobe fan, but it's still really awesome to see the tribute that they did for him, and it is kind of sad because he is one of the great players, especially of our generation, and so it's going to be weird to have the NBA without him, for sure.
I agree. I got almost emotional when they brought him out for that last All-Star game, and I think that came from the introduction. Did you see the flashback to Dr. Naismith they had about how he created the game and what?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Oh, it was really good. It was right before, and it just displayed how far basketball has come, how cool all these things all these guys are doing nowadays compared to how it was when the game started. That was just really neat. I've been a lifelong basketball fan, and that kind of struck a tune with me, I guess. And that, then the Kobe. I was a little emotional last night.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. That sounds cool. I started watching right when the game started.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check that out too, is what I meant to say there. Talking about the game just kind of in general, I grew up, I was originally a Lakers fan. I started watching basketball during that three-peat with Kobe and Shaq, and I love Kobe, and even though I hated him a little when he was going up against Nash, I still loved him. This whole him retiring has been really bittersweet. Mm-hmm. And 20 years in basketball is a long time. Mm-hmm. But man, if he could play what I wouldn't give for one more with watching him play. If he could do it back at his high level.
Yeah. Yep, and I really think the Lakers are doing a great job of handling the way he's retiring, and everyone is giving him the respect that he's due. So it's very bittersweet. That's a good way to put it. Anything else on the All-Star game or any of the All-Star weekend before we wrap it up?
Yes, actually. I
Okay.
can't believe I didn't mention it, but the fantastic display of skill of the Kevin Hart Draymond Green 3-point contest
Oh my gosh. That's right.
was something that I didn't know I wanted to see in the All-Star weekend, but was something that I was glad to watch.
Yeah, that was funny. And I completely forgot about the celebrity game too. That was pretty fun. I liked it.
I only
Old man
caught
T-Mac.
bits and pieces, and actually, my wonderful wife, who I've never mentioned, Natalie, I think she watched that when I said, "Hey, the Property Brothers are playing basketball on ESPN right now," and she's all about that. So she was glued.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a big HGTV fan. I'm more of a House Hunters kind of guy, but I was impressed with the Property Brothers. They were pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they.
There
can
was
dunk.
one thing-
I think both of
Yeah.
them can throw it down.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
There was only one thing that I actually saw from the celebrity game, and that was Old Man T-Mac doing the
Yeah.
self alley-oop layup. And seeing that side by side with his self alley-oop when he was playing for the Magic, and that it was like, oh, there's a reason why you don't play anymore.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know who was really impressive was Muggsy Bogues. He can still go out there and play a little bit.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He looks like he can get up and down the court pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was impressed with him. But I mean, it's all a joke and it's all entertainment, but I thought it was fun.
I mean, that's the point. The All-Star Weekend's about fun, and that's what most of the guys think of it as, and that's what we should really think of it as. We shouldn't be as much outrage as there was about the dunk contest or anything or any of that. It's about just watching a bunch of dumb basketball things and
Yep.
having fun.
Yeah. And yeah, this was a great All-Star weekend. I really enjoyed it.
Totally agree.
Okay, so I think that's about it. Let's end the way we always do by picking the game we're looking most forward to before we record again, and then plugging something non-sports related. I'm looking forward to the Rockets game because it's the day after the trade deadline, and we could have a different team.
I'm in that boat too, man. And I think that's more winnable than the Spurs game, so
Yep.
that affects it too.
You know, watching the Rockets as almost a dumpster fire is kind of fantastic. We don't have much room to talk, but, you know, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now for our non-sports related plug. We'll have David start because he has a pretty exciting one.
Wah, wah, wah. So my sports related plug is I went and saw Deadpool over the weekend, and I'm a big dumb comic book nerd. And if you want to see a movie making fun of the superhero genre and that's overly violent, overly sexualized, and overly crude, then you should probably go see it. Lots of pop culture references. I mean, it was funny in general. It was just a lot of fun altogether. So I would recommend going and seeing it. There's a fun little thing at the end of the credits. There's a lot of stuff that it was just a lot of fun. It's been in the development. Script got written for it in 2009. They didn't greenlight it. Fox didn't, and Ryan Reynolds has been campaigning for that movie to get done since then. And they finally were able to get it done after test footage leaked. And it doesn't disappoint. It's a lot of fun. It's not like groundbreaking. It's not any of that, but it's silly, whatever. And it is the, I think, highest grossing rated R opening weekend of all time, I think.
Okay.
So this would be a good movie for me to take my very conservative in-laws to.
Oh, this will be fantastic to take them.
Thank you for the recommendation.
And all the kids you can find too, right?
Oh my goodness. I wish there was a betting line on the over-under of how many kids were going to be in the movie theater. Because, I mean, there's definitely sex in the movie. There's definitely violence in the movie. There's definitely swearing in the movie. It's not a kid's movie, but I knew for sure there were going to be kids in the movie theater. And there was.
Yeah. Everything that I've seen of people who are fans of it are saying, don't take your kids. It's not a kid's movie. So keep that in mind, I guess.
Unless you really want to and have to explain a whole bunch of stuff to them when it's done, then...
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that it was good and that it lived up to all the hype. What do you have, Charlie?
All right. Well, I'm technically going to promote a comic book / graphic novel, Watch Out, David.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
But
Quit being a nerd.
I'm going the TV show route, the popular TV show route. So The Walking Dead started back up Sunday night. It was the mid-season premiere, so they had the whole first half of the season play a few months ago, and they're just picking up now. I actually missed the whole first half, so that will be binged very soon so I can get back on track.
Okay, nice. You know, I watched that a lot in the first couple seasons, and then I just quit watching it because the end of season 2 and season 3 kind of went downhill a little bit, and people have told me it's picked up a lot, but I just don't have time to watch another show, so...
I read the first 30 issues of the comic, and that was enough in my book.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Charlie's excited for it.
Someone has to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Me, the only person in America that is excited for Walking Dead to return.
You are literally the only person that is excited about The Walking Dead.
Oh, I know
Literally.
a bunch of people who like it.
Nope, it's only Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Hipster Walking Dead fan.
There you go.
The only reason that they have ratings is because Charlie just has all of the TVs on in his house set on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they get millions of people watching it's just Charlie.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad we figured that out. I am going to go a very different route. I am going to plug Tillamook Cheese. I'm a big fan of cheese, and Tillamook makes the best cheese you can get in the grocery store. It's made in Oregon. I've been to the factory where it's made quite a long time ago. I don't really remember it, but I've been there. I had a nice piece of sharp cheddar today. Big fan of that. I like their Swiss a lot. You can't really go wrong with any of their flavors or kinds of cheese. So yeah, Tillamook cheese. Next time you're in the grocery store, remember that.
Well, it's not a space eater.
No, it's not a space eater. Oh. Well, I think that's about all the time we have. Thank you for listening. You can find us on all forms of social media: Facebook, Phoenix Suns Multiple Sources, Twitter @Sunny in PHX Pod. Email us with questions, thoughts, or suggestions, sunnyinphxpod@gmail.com. And then check out our website, multiplesources.net/Phoenix Suns, and the entire Multiple Sources blog and podcast network. Again, thank you for listening, and we're excited to watch the next couple games before we record again, and we'll be back next Monday. Go Suns!